Welcome to core class. This is Fridays with me, Dara. I am a physical therapist as well as a strength coach and a yogi. Join me for live class. We've got 30 minutes of core strength, a little bit of standing yoga, nothing too crazy. Subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live class. I host live class Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week. Core strength, full body strength. Weights are optional today. For my full body strength class, bring some weights. But if you got weights, bring them today. Got my little kettlebell here. Nothing crazy. We're going to add them into our core strength. Again, this class is for you if you need some core stability, you're working through some lower back issues, you just want more defined abs, you just need some core strength for your life to add into your sports, etc. So this is all levels. I'm going to show some advanced options, but I will give you some options to kind of regress and make them a little bit simpler. Listen to your body, always modify as needed. Let's get started. So we've got 30 minutes. We're gonna start off in standing with a little bit of a yoga warm up, and then we're gonna take it down onto the mat, core strength. We've got a series of 3 moves, advanced core work, stretch, done, that's it. Join me, let's get started. Reach to the sky. Let's start off with some nice tall spine, elongate, think about crown of the head to the ceiling. Let's work on our posture, just getting a little bit of mindfulness. Think about ears over shoulders, tucking the chin in. I always say this to my patients, my athletes, focusing on this nice aligned posture. Again, ears over shoulders. Think about crown of the head to the ceiling. Get some length as you reach up to the sky. Root your feet into the ground. Ground yourself, elongate, inhale, reach. And then on your exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down. This should just feel like a nice stretch on the lower back. Knees are nice and soft. Let's get gentle, easy yoga warm up here. We're not getting too crazy. Starting off nice and slow. We'll speed it up as we go along. Hang out here for one breath. Knees are soft. Just dangle, stretch, relax the arms. One more breath here. And then on your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. This is your hip hinge, hinging at the hips. Abs are braced, engaged. Tuck the chin in. Hold it here. One breath. Straighten out the legs. Get a nice hamstring stretch. This should feel nice. And then bring your hands down, step back into plank. Hold this nice tall plank position. Spread the fingers wide. Push away from the mat. Engaged. Tuck the chin. Abs are on. One breath here. And then knees down, slowly lower, chaturanga elbows close to my sides, glue them in, uncurl your toes, get ready for a little baby cobra stretch, mellow spine extension, pull the shoulder blades down your back, hold it here, one breath. Exhale back down. Uncurl your toes, push yourself back, downward facing dog. That's the entire flow. Let's go through that 2 more times just to get warmed up before we get into our core. Pedal your feet, give your calf and ankles a nice little stretch, some ankle mobility, getting some flexibility in the ankles, right? We want strength as well as mobility, flexibility. Pedal the feet. Stretch out those calves. All right, walk your hands back to your feet. Let's go through this one more time. Let's go through this 2 more times, actually. Rolling up slowly, head coming up last, 1 vertebrae at a time. Articulate through your spine. Inhale, reach to the sky, speeding it up. Reach crown of the head to the ceiling. Root your feet into the ground. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the arms all the way down. Knees are soft. Relax. Shake it out. 1 breath here. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Flat back. Stretch here. Brace here. 1 breath. Hands come down, plank. Number 2, strong shoulders, hold it here. And then exhale, either knees down or all the way down, chaturanga, elbows close to your sides. Uncurl your toes. Now, if you want to come up into this full up dog pose, you can. So if you want to keep it low, little baby cobra, pull the shoulders down the back. And if you want to come all the way up into up dog, if this feels nice on the spine, this should just feel like a nice stretch, right? Some spine extension. We're always flexed over things all day. So let's get a little bit of extension in the spine. Abs are on here, protect the lower back, 1 breath. Shoulders are down, retract them down, engage your lats. And then exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Let's go through this flow 1 last time before we move on. Hold it here, pedal the feet. Last time through, we're gonna do a little bit of a single leg balance to finish out our warm up. A little bit of a single leg deadlift. Walk your hands back to your feet. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, head coming up last. Inhale, reach to the sky. Last time through. Exhale, forward fold. We are moving on, guys. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, stretch here, hinge here, abs here, chin here. Hands come down, plank, strong plank. Hold it. Nice upper body work here, engage. Exhale, lower, either knees down or all the way down. Almost done. Up dog or cobra, spine extension. Give your back some movement in extension here. Shoulders down. Exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Let's do a little bit more before we get into that single leg deadlift, that warrior 3 pose. I want you to just rock back and forth, finishing out just a little bit of shoulder strength here. Exhale it back. Inhale, tall plank, strong shoulders. Exhale back. Downward dog. Nice little stretch for the calves. A little bit of abs engaged. Exhale back. And just rock back and forth, working the shoulders. If you need to take a break for your wrists, that's okay. You can always double up your mat. Exhale it back, tighten the abs, push yourself back. Let's do 2 more like this, then we're gonna come into standing. So I said single leg deadlift, it's also warrior 3, same thing. And if you've got a weight, you can add that in. Last time here, and then we're gonna come back into standing. Push yourself back, give your calves, if you're like me, got tight calves, right? Heels may not touch the ground here, but that's okay. We're working on our flexibility. Let those heels just drop, get a nice little stretch, maybe a strong stretch, you've got tight calves. And then walk your hands back to your feet, come into standing. So if you've got the weights, you can add them, not needed, but if you wanna add some challenge and add a little bit more strength work to your single leg, so warrior 3, hinge. We started off with our hinge. That's your hinge movement, that's your deadlift, that's your warrior 3. I want you to practice first, root that right foot into the ground, hinge at the hips, abs are here, braced, hips are level. I'm not letting that hip roll out. And just coming to about here, and then back up. And again, for a lot of people, this is really challenging on their balance, right? Foot, ankle strength. I give this to my ankle patients, my rehab for ankles, feet, and then back up. It's also a nice glute, right? That right booty. So this is your warrior 3. If you don't have weights, you want to practice and challenge yourself, you can come here, warrior 3 and back. So we're just kind of going back and forth. Now, if you have some weights and you want to come into your single leg, this is my finish. Start. You can have the weights in either hand. I like to have it in that opposing hand. For me, it evens myself out and it helps keep that hip down. So the number one thing that I have to cue people is this is not correct. Draw that left hip down, square off the hips. And then I'm finishing at mid-shin, whether it's with my hand or my weight. So I want you to really work that right foot. Abs are braced, my back is flat, I'm not here. Flatten the back, engage your lats. We talked about that in the warm-up. Pull the shoulders back, hold it here. This is my deadlift, strong, solid back. This back engaged is going to save and protect your back. Use that right booty as well. Squeeze that right butt. Let's do 2 more and then we're gonna switch legs. And if you're really challenging, if this is really challenging for your balance, hold on to the wall, right? That's another option. And again, the weight can go in either hand. All right, so let's switch legs. So if you've got the weights, cool. If not, depends on what you want to work on, right? So if you've got the weights, you're challenging your glutes a little bit more, right? So it's going to be more of a deadlift type movement. If you don't have the weights and you're like, man, I can barely even stand here without falling over, then this is a good balance challenge. And maybe you're working your ankle strength, your foot strength, your core, right? To keep you balanced. Keep those hips level. Engage your back. So the number one thing is here. Right? And then I want to be hinging. This is a hinge. So a lot of you guys, when you got these lower back issues, part of it is you need to learn how to hinge. Engage that glute, keep the back supported, hinge, lean. Hips are squared, knee is soft. My standing leg, soft bend. Squeeze that booty, left side. Let's do a few more. Let's even it out. Let's get just as many on the left. So we're just finishing out our warm-up with a little bit of strength, a little bit of glute work, a little bit of balance, coordination. And if you got tight hamstrings, this is also probably feeling like a nice hamstring stretch, right? So you're getting a lot of things with this pose. And I always suggest challenging yourself, focusing on a point, keeping everything stacked so that chin is still tucked in. I'm hinging at the hip. Abs are on. Let's do last few. Then we're going to take it down onto the mat, get into our core series. So today, weights are optional with the core work, right? I always like to add them in if you've got them. And we're gonna do a little bit of a dead bug, got a little bit of a basic bicycle crunch today, and then we've got a little bit of a hold to finish. So some challenging stuff. One more time, and then we're taking it down onto the mat. Last one, focus, keep that form, keep that glute active, foot arch active. Last one, and done, shake it out, shake it out. All right, let's come down onto the mat. Let's finish with a little bit of cat-cow. Why? Because it just feels nice on the spine. I like it. Almost everybody, even any of my patients, just about anybody can do this cat-cow. And it's nice. Articulate through your spine. Mobility, we want supple joints, head to toe. You need solid, strong muscles and supple, mobile joints. We need both, right? So that's what this class is about. So let's finish our cat-cow. Exhale, inhale, expand the rib cage. Exhale, inhale. And exhale it out one more time, and we're gonna be on our back. We're gonna start with just basic bicycle crunch, obliques, easy peasy. It's gonna get harder after that. All right, so we got a series of 3 moves today. You got your bicycle crunch, you got a dead bug. Weights are optional for the dead bugs. And we've got a hollow body hold. Weights are also optional. Again, not needed, but might as well add a little bit of strength into your core work if you need some more advanced work or just want more defined abs, right? Add some weights. So bicycles, 3 rounds. This is our first move. I want you to think about what you are working for this movement. So this is obliques primarily. Get my weight out of the way so it doesn't smack me in the head. All right, so I'm gonna start with that chin tucked in right here, rotating across. Now, everyone's bicycle crunch might look a little bit different, but I really want you to focus on this as my starting point. This is gonna be our dead bug next, and then extending off of that. So my hand's supporting my head, chin is tucked in. Again, kind of one of your basic core moves. Almost everybody can do some variation of bicycle crunch. Really easy way to target obliques. Those are the muscles going across. Driving power, right? Arm to that opposite leg. So nice, easy one. Focus on that intention. Where's your axis of rotation? It's not just about yanking my head. Think about belly button across. Driving power across, whether you're running, biking, swimming, whatevering, walking, living. You need those obliques engaged and strong. So we got our bicycle crunch first. We're gonna get into a dead bug. Again, weights optional. Hollow body hold, our static hold finisher. 3 rounds. Then we'll stretch, be done. That's it for class today. And again, take breaks when you need to, right? So if you're getting fatigued, you take a break, always please take a break. I'm gonna show different options for the next 2 moves. This one is pretty easy. Almost anybody can do some variation. The next 2, a little bit more challenging, so I'll give you guys some options to scale them down, regress them, or make them harder. First set, we've got 3 rounds. This one is gonna be our longest, so settle in. Where are you working? Intention, right? Really putting that mind-body connection, especially when we're working on some of these like smaller core muscles. Where am I working? What am I trying to fire? Really feeling where you want to be activating that muscle group. Finishing up here. Last few. Extend and rotate. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right, dead bug. I'm gonna show you guys options. So you can just start with the legs. So we started here with our bicycle. Now, our level 1 for our core march, before we turn into a dead bug, is just the feet. And I need you to keep the lower back pressed down the whole time. So that's the number 1 key thing. Keep that lower back pressed down as my feet tap. Now, if you wanna turn it into that full dead bug, here, right? Harder because it's more to control here in the midsection. If you want to add the weights, you can add that weight holding overhead or further behind you. Again, as that weight gets away from your head, it's going to be harder to maintain that lower back pressed down. So I see this a lot and people are like, oh, I'm doing this right. And then I come over to them and there's this huge gap in that lower back. You need to keep that pressed down because you are going to strain your lower back if that's not pressed down, and that is incorrect. So that ain't it. It's not right. And their next move is even harder. So lock it in here. Like literally, if I come up to you, I should not be able to get even a fingernail in this space right here. And if you're not sure you're doing that correctly, lift your head up. That's gonna help you press down. Lifting the head up is gonna help you press the rib cage down. Deep abs here, that's pressing you down there. So I want you to just think about that when you get into these, when you're doing these on your own or another version, right, or in another class. Here, this needs to be locked in. It's right here, right? Tapping further away. If you're feeling this is easy, tap further. Arms further. It's gonna be a lot harder. Again, if you have a bigger, more muscular leg, a heavier leg, it's also gonna be harder. It's more to resist here. It's a longer lever, right? Heavier weight to support literally your own leg. So let's finish up here. Really focus on form, 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 form. If your low back is feeling tired, take a break. Reset. Locked in. Connect. Right here. Tight. Right? Last few here, then we're gonna do that hollow body hold. This, but harder, is our next move. Get ready. In 4. In 3. In 2. And 1, rest. Shake the legs out. So hollow body hold, probably one of our more challenging moves. I'm gonna show you options. So if you wanna make it more simple, it's gonna kind of look like your Pilates position, like this. This is a hold, 30 seconds. Harder, here, hardest, here. Hardest would be holding the weight. Now, whatever version you choose, 30 seconds, you better make sure this is pressed down here. So be mindful of that. Let's start that off. We're gonna do 30 seconds. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, hold. Chin is tucked in, rib cage is pressed down, lower back is glued to the freaking floor. I don't want anyone getting a sore back after this class, right? I'm a PT, I don't want you to have low back pain. So hold it here, strong, 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 engaged, 30 seconds. You can hold longer if you want, good luck. Enjoy that, I'm not. 30 seconds, keep going. Almost done here. In 3, in 2, 1, relax. Shake it out, coming back into those bicycle crunches, round 2. We're not taking a break. Tuck the chin in right here, belly button, legs come up. Notice this is our foundation, right? This is intentional. I want you guys to build, anybody that I work with, if you're taking my class, you're working with me, I really want you to understand the foundation. This is where you build. Safe, solid, strong foundation. From this, the sky's the limit. You can add any complexity to this, any weights, any speed, any variation, but you gotta have this down first. Controlled. Lower back is pressed down. Rib cage is pressed down. Deep core, activated, meaning you are having your abs are braced. There's tension, stability. You're breathing underneath that. It's not breath holding. You should be able to do this in life, right? Move, walk, run, swim, play football, hockey, whatever, with some tension, some connection, some deep core activation, right? Picking up your kids, your dog, whatever, the trash, luggage, deep core activation. So understanding that getting your brain kind of wrapped around this is where we practice that connection. So again, obliques, but even more than just these obliques, we have some deeper core happening, as well as the breathing. Notice if you're breathing. Keep breathing. You cannot hold your breath. It takes skill, right? How do you tighten your abs and breathe? Practice. 10, 9, finishing up, 8. Let's add some speed. 7, 6, chin is tucked in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Dead bug, dying bug, or core march, or weighted core march, whatever you want. Locked in here. What did I say? Rib cage down, lower back is pressed down, chin is tucked in, tap. Again, if you're not sure if you're doing it right, and if my lower back is kind of getting fatigued or whatever, lift your head up for a few. Hold your hands up like this. Sometimes I'll even have a pillow behind someone's head. Like a patient, if I'm working on them, they're not really getting it right, or their neck is getting tired, put your head up on something. All I care about is that this is correct. How you get there, that's on you. We're all at different levels, right? We've all got different body types, etc. So if you need help getting here, doing this correctly, you got to do what's best for you, right? And if this is feeling super easy, you're like, oh, I got this. Then again, further away, right? Or weighted, right? Adding that weight overhead. I'm tired. I'm actually going to self-select that I'm not going to do the weight. Sometimes you got to leave your ego at the door. I would rather do this correctly, right, than add the weights. So I got my dead bug, marching, locked in here, tight here. And then we're going to do our hollow body hold. And then we got one more round, and then we're stretching, and that's it. Last few here. You should feel this. Ribcage should feel like a crunch, right? Should be feeling like you're working. This should not feel easy if you're doing these correctly. Last few. Tap. Tap further away if it's feeling too easy. 4. Tap. 3. Trying to keep my chin tucked in. 2. Last one. And rest. Hollow body holds. Let's start our 30-second hold in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and lift and hold, and rib cage press down, lower back is pressed down, chin is tucked in, abs are tight. I'm breathing, I'm bracing, I'm doing all the things. Higher, easier, lower, harder. These are hard. They should feel hard, right? 30 seconds, that's our goal. And then we've got our last round. Almost done, guys. In 3, in 2, 1, relax. Whew. Feels good, near the finish line. Got one more round, last round, make it count, make it just as good as your first, if not better, right? Maybe we're even better than our first round. Now we understand what we're doing. Locked into the position, here, 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 chin. Last round. Finishing strong. Again, you've got options, things that you can play with. You can play with adding weights. Give yourself more challenge. You can play with tempo, going faster, going slower. You can play with the eccentric, the lowering, right? You got a lot of things that you can do to kind of make your core work more challenging, change it without just getting crazy, right? We still want to have some basic stuff we're working on for a progression over time. That's how you're going to build that strength. But there's things within that that you can play with. Tempo, slower, faster, holds, weights, right? So think about all those things. Again, defined abs, if you want more of just that definition, again, that's probably going to be a little bit more volume, so doing more core work, literally, like building muscles. You just need to do that more. Or adding weights, adding more challenge to make those muscles work harder, just like any other muscle group, right? So let's finish with our core work here. Obliques, obliques, across, across. 10, 9, 8. Speeding up because I want to be done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Dead bug, dying bug, locked in. Lower back, pressed down. Abs are engaged. Chin is tucked in. Legs come up. I'm going to do this extended version. Just give myself a little bit of challenge. Again, keeping that lower back pressed down. Tightening those abs. As my legs get away, there is no space. I'm not arching my back. 0. Really locked in on the front to protect me in the back. So I want you to just think about that. All the way around, engaged, tight, bracing. But I'm breathing underneath that. Think about that tension. I want you to really kind of get your mind connected here. What am I doing? How am I engaging? That deep core activation. Last few, whichever version you're doing. And tap. Last few here. Then we've got our hollow body hold. We are almost done with the hard stuff. 3, 2, 1. Hollow body hold. Let's finish in 4, in 3, in 2, and hold 30 seconds. Last one, and then we stretch. The hard part is basically done. Finish strong. Press down. Chin is tucked in. Rib cage is pressed down. Abs are engaged. Lower back is pressed down. Tight and tense. Feel that tension in your abs. We are almost done. 10 seconds. Keep holding. Keep holding. Press that lower back down. This should feel challenging. Almost done. In 3, in 2, in 1. Relax. Shake it out, reach to opposite ends of the room, get some length in that spine. We just did all this crunchy, tight stuff. Let's get some extension. Finish out class just like we started with that nice tall spine. Elongate, lengthen, decompress the spine, open it up, relieve any tension you're feeling. Let it go, let it go. The hard part is done. You did it. Hug your knees into your chest when you're ready. Let's stretch. Hug the knees in, rock the knees side to side. This should just feel like a nice little stretch for your lower back, nice and mellow. I'm gonna just go through just quick cool down. Again, modify as needed, adding in anything that feels right to you, for your body. Rocking the knees side to side, nice and gentle. And then when you're ready, just let that left leg extend long, shake it out, shake it out. Slow down the breath. Roll the ankles and the feet around. Again, we started off with our single leg deadlift, our warrior 3, a lot of foot strengthening. Let's move the toes and the feet around. A lot of times people just neglect their feet. This is your base of support. You need strong, healthy feet for the rest of your life. Keep them healthy. Roll that hip around. Get that hip. A lot of us got tight hips. Get those. We sit all the time. Open up those hips a little bit. Let's stretch them out. With your left hand, bring that knee across your body. I'm going to move my weight out of the way. Find that position on you that just feels like a nice stretch. Glutes, IT bend, lower back. You want to rotate more off the mat. Open that right arm out. Get a nice stretch through the rib cage, chest, shoulders. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable. Maybe shake the head. A lot of this core work involves the neck, right? We're lifting the head up, so just release any tension. Let it go, let it go. Inhale through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. Finding that position that just feels like a good stretch on your body. Again, we are all built differently. So what your stretch may look different than my stretch. That's okay. Come back to center. Let's do our figure 4 stretch on the right side. Again, if you've got any other stretches that feel good to you, now is your chance. I'm just showing you a couple that most people like, feel good. Getting into this right glute, reaching through for thread the needle. If that feels nice, roll the shoulders. Releasing tension. Shake the head side to side, let it go. Noticing where you feel any tension. Just stretching out that right hip, and then we'll finish on the other side. Slow down the breath. And then when you're ready, unwrap that right leg, shake it out. Hug that left knee in, roll the ankles and the toes one last time. Get them moving, move them around. Roll that hip around. Just noticing where you feel any tension. This is your chance to work on you, right? Where do you feel any tightness or tension? In the hips, in the back, in the shoulders, neck, whatever. Let it go. Bring that knee across your body. Same thing, other side. Finding that position that just feels right for you, right? Maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. Just finding whatever feels like a good position where you're getting into those hips, the glutes, maybe the lower back. Maybe you go into child's pose. Whatever feels right for you. Pigeon pose. Got lots of options. Inhale through the nose, exhale it out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Figure 4 on the left side, reaching through. Roll the shoulders, release the tension. Last few breaths before we finish out class. We've just got one more move, and then that is it for today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get notifications. Live class every week. Join my full body strength class. Bring your weights. Join me for core class Fridays. Take care of your body. Last breath here. When you're ready, unwrap that left leg, windshield wiper the knees side to side, roll onto your side. Let's finish in seated, just with our seated stretch. Let's finish with that nice tall posture. Sitting however you want. Don't need to sit cross-legged. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Just finishing with that crown of the head to the ceiling. We started off class with tucking the chin in, ears over shoulders. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale it out. One more time. Inhale, reach. And then exhale it out. That is it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you got something good out of class. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time. Take care of your bodies. See you guys later.